Good morning. Happy Friday. All right, so let's go ahead and log on to starfall.com. And then once we're on there, go ahead and make your way to our calendar. And then when you're on the calendar, go ahead and press play.
Yippee!
It's April 2020.
Let's make a calendar.
Okay, and then go ahead and click that sparkly green arrow in the bottom right corner. And do the days of the week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. All right, so
What day of the week is it today?
what day of the week is it today? Yeah, it's Friday.
Great job!
Today is Friday, April 24th, 2020. Okay, let's go ahead and press that green arrow in the bottom right corner. And now we can
Fill in the missing day and date.
fill in the missing day and date. So today's Friday, we already said that.
Friday.
And if yesterday was the 23rd, that means today is the 24th.
24th. Great job!
All right, and then once you have that filled in, go ahead and go to our green arrow in the bottom right corner. And now we get to do the best part of calendar.
Mark any special days this month.
Mark any special days this month. So I'm going to go ahead and do what I normally do and mark the official holidays. So on Wednesday, April 1st, 2020, that was April Fool's Day. And that was the holiday where you got to hopefully play some lighthearted tricks on your family or friends. So I'm going to go ahead and put a smiley face on Wednesday, April 1st, because that was April Fool's Day. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and jump down to that next week and go to Thursday, April 9th, 2020. That was the Jewish holiday of Passover. And we talked about that. We had a social story about that and it's located on our Google Classroom. And then I also did a coconut chocolate chip macaroon video for this holiday as well, and which is also posted on our Google Classroom. So I'm going to go ahead and put a smiley face on Thursday, April 9th, 2020, because that was Passover. Okay, and then Friday, April 10th, 2020, that was the Christian holiday Good Friday. And this is the holiday where they remember that Jesus died on the cross, which is why there's a cross in the corner there. So I'm going to go ahead and put a smiley face on Friday, April 10th, 2020, because that was Good Friday. And since that was Good Friday, we know that the following Sunday, April 12th, 2020, is Easter. And so this is also a Christian holiday where they remember that Jesus rose from the dead. So I'm going to go ahead and put a smiley face on Sunday, April 12th, 2020, because that was Easter. Okay, and then let's go ahead and jump to our current week that we're in. And enough. Sorry, my dog. Wednesday, April 22nd, 2020. So this past Wednesday was Earth Day. And remember, this is one of my favorite holidays. This is the holiday that we spread awareness and information about how we can keep our earth healthy and happy for years to come. So I'm going to go ahead and put a smiley face on Wednesday, April 22nd, 2020, because that was Earth Day. Okay, and then today is a holiday. This marks the beginning. So today, Friday, April 24th, 2020, marks the beginning of the Muslim holiday of Ramadan. And we will talk more about this when we get to our social story. But I already posted on our Google Classroom a brain pop video about Ramadan that kind of explains it, but we'll talk about it even more. So I'm going to go ahead and put a smiley face on Friday, April 24th, 2020, so today, because it marks the beginning of Ramadan. Okay, so now I am going to acknowledge one more day this month, and that is because it's a friend's birthday. So, January, February, March, April. April 19th was Harry's 13th birthday. So, I'm going to go ahead and put a slice of birthday cake on Sunday, April 19th, 2020, because that was Harry's 13th birthday. Okay, so you can continue to mark any other special days that you want this month, but I'm going to go ahead and move on. So I'm going to click that green arrow in the bottom right corner. And now, oh wow, that is a really awful sound. That's lovely. My Chromebook is not having a good time right now. Sorry. Let me see. If I can exit out of some things and get it to play sound. It's sounding like a robot that's upset right now. Alright, well that's really lovely. Alright, so choose a picture for your calendar. So since today is the beginning of Ramadan, I'm going to go ahead and pick that cool planet scene that is one of the 4 pictures, and it looks like this. Let me turn my brightness down so you can see. There you go. So that's my picture, but you can choose whatever picture you'd like. Okay, and then once that is done, I'm going to go ahead and click the green arrow. And hooray! So we finished calendar. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and transition to checking out our weather. So go ahead and type into Google Chico weather. And then remember, we only use this first bit of information. Hold on. Right here. So let's check out our temperature for the day. So that means we want to make sure that this is so weird. And the part where there's the 3 rectangles and it says temperature, precipitation, and wind, we want to make sure there's a blue box around temperature. And we'll see that, we'll know that we're there once we have our temperature scale that looks like this here. Okay, so once you're there, then go ahead and click on Friday. make sure there's that blue box around Friday. So, here we go. Okay. So if there's, I'm going to have my blue box, and then I see FRI, which is short for Friday. And then I see our weather picture for the day, and it looks like one that we are very familiar with. It's got the sun with some clouds covering. And then I see two temperatures. So I see 92, wow, 92 degrees and 60 degrees. So if we have our blue box around Friday, FRI, Friday, and then our weather picture for the day, this is one we're very familiar with, and then our high and our low temperatures of the day. So my question for you is, which of these temperatures will be our highest temperature today? 92 degrees or 60 degrees? Or which one is closer to 100? So if you said 92 degrees, you are correct. So let's go ahead and take a look at where 92 falls on our temperature scale. Okay. Ooh, look at that. So 90 is right here, and it marks the beginning of the hot temperature range. So we'll go up two more. So 91, 92, and right here we have made it officially into the hot temperature range. Yeah, 92 degrees. I'm sure you all saw my reaction when I read that number. That is hot. Okay, so if 92 degrees is our highest temperature today, then that means 60 degrees must be our lowest expected temperature today. So let's check out where that falls on here. And we can easily find 60 because it's nice and big right here. And that is in the middle of that cool temperature range. So it will be a cool temperature tonight, which will be nice to break up some of that heat. Okay, so now that we've checked out our temperatures, let's go ahead and make sure that precipitation is clicked on now. So we want to make sure there's a box right here. So we did temperature, now we're on precipitation, and we'll know we're there once we see our blue line with percentages. And what do we notice about that blue line? Yeah, it's stable or straight across. There is no variations in it. And so we've learned that that typically tells us that it is not going to rain today, or there will not be some type of precipitation. But we can double check by looking up at above where we just marked. So right here, it says precipitation, and then there should be a percentage next to it. So PRECIPITATION. Precipitation, and 0%. So yeah, remember how if we have our blue line, if that blue line is straight across like that, we are not going to have precipitation today, and it is 0%. And I'm looking up at the sky right now and see nothing but big, beautiful blue skies. So it will not rain today. So now that we have talked about our precipitation, so we've done temperature, precipitation, let's check out our wind, our expected wind average today. So now we want to make sure that wind has that blue box around it right here. So we did temperature, precipitation, and now we're on wind. And you'll know you're there when you see those arrows with the different wind speeds. But I'm going to look where we looked at our precipitation percentage. So up here, it's precipitation, then it says humidity, and then we have wind. And there's a wind speed next to that. So W-I-N-D is how you spell wind. And then I see 13 mph, or 13 miles per hour. So our average wind speed today is going to be 13 miles per hour, which will feel nice because it's really hot today. So it's nice to have a breeze to break up that heat. Okay, so let's talk about, now that we've done temperature, precipitation, and wind, let's talk about our weather picture for today. This is one we know very well. Seems to be the only kind of weather that we've been having lately. And it's that one that has the sun with the two clouds that are in front of it. So do you remember what that means? What type of weather we're going to have today? You said partly cloudy. You are correct. So it will be partly cloudy today. I don't see a cloud in the sky right now, so I don't understand where they're getting partly cloudy from, but that's just me. Okay, so let's compare and contrast our temperatures and weather from today with tomorrow's temperature and weather. So to figure that out, let's make sure we have our blue box around Saturday. So I have my blue box, and then I see SAT, which is short for Saturday. And then, ooh, we finally have a new weather picture. This is exciting. There is nothing but clouds in this picture. And then I see two temperatures underneath those clouds. I see 87 degrees, and then I see 59 degrees. So if you have your blue box around Saturday, then you have SAT, which is short for Saturday. Then we have these, which is our weather type today, and then our high and our low temperature for tomorrow. So, which one of these will be our highest temperature tomorrow? 87 degrees or 59 degrees? Or which one is closer to 100? Yeah, so if you said 57 degrees, you are correct. So let's check out where that falls on our temperature scale here. So we have 80, 85, and I know that 87 is between 85 and 90. So I'm going to just start at 85 and count up two more. So 86, 87, and we are right here. We're very close to being in the hot temperature range, but we are still in that warm temperature range. So tomorrow will be warm. And then tomorrow night, so since 87 degrees is our highest temperature, that means that 59 degrees will be our lowest expected temperature for tomorrow. So if we look on our scale here, here's 55 and 60. So I know that 59 is between 55 and 60, and it is one less than 60. So I'm just going to go down one more, and we are in that cool temperature range. So it will be a cool temperature tomorrow night. Okay, and so now that we've talked about our two temperatures for tomorrow, let's look at this weather picture here. So this is one we haven't had yet, but I bet you can guess what it is. If it's nothing but clouds, what type of weather will we be having if there's only clouds? You said cloudy You are correct. So it will be cloudy tomorrow. Okay, so now that we've checked out what our weather is for tomorrow, let's go ahead and, if we were in our classroom, we would compare and contrast today and tomorrow up on the board. So today is going to be a high of 92 degrees and partly cloudy. Tomorrow will be a high of 87 degrees and cloudy. So here we go. So today, a high of 92 degrees and partly cloudy. Tomorrow will be 87 degrees and cloudy. So our weather for Friday and Saturday. All right, so that concludes all we're going to do for weather today. But you can continue to do weather if you would like at home. I'm going to go ahead and move on to our social story portion of our morning meeting because, as we talked about, today marks the beginning of Ramadan. So I'm going to read a little summary of what Ramadan is and why it's celebrated. So the month of Ramadan, the Muslim holiday of Ramadan, is a month-long observance. It honors the revelation of the holy word to Muhammad. So, a month-long observance, which means it starts today, but it lasts a whole month. And it honors the holy word to Muhammad. During this month, Muslims fast, which means that you don't eat or drink, for the entire time the sun is up. At sundown, they have a special meal called iftar. Then they go out and visit family and friends. So that's pretty cool. That's different. So Muslims who celebrate this holiday, or this month-long holiday, they don't eat or drink while the sun is up, but they do once the sun has gone down, and they have a special meal and then go visit family and friends. That sounds really cool. It is common during Ramadan for Muslims to pray many times during the day or the night. Prayers are said at least 5 times a day, and Ramadan prayers are called Tarawih, and are usually much longer than ordinary prayers. So, prayer is done many times during the day or night when this whole observance or this month-long holiday, in a sense, is going on. And then at least 5 times a day, prayers are said. And those prayers for this special holiday, this month-long holiday, are called Tarawih. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Okay. Let me see. And then on the 27th day of the month of Ramadan, Muslims celebrate the let me make sure that I'm saying this correctly because I don't want to mispronounce and offend. So let's see how that's said. I am Googling how to pronounce that because that's what I do when I don't know how to pronounce something. So I learn the correct way to do it in the future. So
Qadar.
Qadar. Okay, so Al-Qadar. So on the 27th day of the month of Ramadan, Muslims celebrate the Al-Qadr, or the Night of Power. So that phrase that I just had to look up, it means Night of Power. This is the night on which Allah delivered the Quran to Muhammad. So the Quran is the holy book that Muslims read from and practice from. People who practice Islam is the religion. So whoever is of the Islamic faith, they read something called the Quran. And this is the night on which Allah, so Allah is like God. So Allah is the high power, the holy power. And so Allah delivered the holy word to Muhammad. And the Quran says it is on this night that Allah determines the course of the world for the next year. So that's really cool too. That's something. So it says that in the holy book, so in the Quran, it talks about how their God, so Allah, on that night determines what's going to happen for everyone for the next year. That's a cool thing. I think that's really interesting. After an entire month, Ramadan ends with a feast of Eid al-Fitr. I don't think I'm saying that correct. Hold on. Let's look that one up. See, teachers have to look things up too, because I don't always know how to say things correctly. And like I said, I don't like to offend, and I like to know. So,
Eid al-Fitr.
Eid al-Fitr. Eid al-Fitr. That's what it's called. Eid al-Fitr. So, after an entire month, Ramadan ends with a feast, and a feast of Eid al-Fitr. And then this is where friends and family gather together for large meals and just togetherness, so celebrating being together. Some cities have large celebrations. So my guess is the cities that have a high population of people who are of the Islamic faith probably celebrate this within the whole city. Chico is not one of those cities, so we do not celebrate here as a large celebration. But there are Muslim families in Chico that I'm sure celebrate within their family and friends. And then in all, Ramadan is usually a quiet time spent mostly in prayer and inner thoughts. Nightly meals are usually quiet gatherings, and the focus is on faith. So the whole point of this month-long holiday is to do basically to devote yourself, which means to really work on practicing special prayer or however you like to pray, and then just reflection or just inner thoughts and just a time of thinking and enjoying people around you and focus, and it really just zeroes in on how to be a good Muslim, it sounds like. So that was a general explanation of what Ramadan is. So I will post this link to this website that I have, Social Studies for Kids, because I feel like this did a really good job of breaking down kind of what happens throughout this month of Ramadan. So I will post this on our Google Classroom for you to look at, as well as other resources to kind of check out more about Ramadan, because this seems like a really cool holiday to me. I'm not Muslim, but I can appreciate other religions and cultures and their celebrations, and this seems really beautiful. So that was a cool thing. I realized that I did not do a mystery bag today, but this is partially because today is Ramadan, so I really wanted to zero in and focus on explaining more about this holiday. So next Friday is not a holiday. So we will have do a what's in the bag next Friday. But yeah, so for now, this is all we have for Friday's morning meeting. But there will be, like I said, more resources posted. And also, please come to our Zoom chats next week. They're going to be every Tuesday and Thursday at 11. We had a really good turnout on yesterday, so that was really cool. I would love to see you all again on Tuesday and Thursday. But other than that, I hope that you all have a wonderful weekend. It sounds like it's going to be some really beautiful weather and just a really great time to get some sunshine and kind of decompress. So I will see you all on Monday. Have a great weekend.